Howdy everybody, Frankie Day back here again YouTube. This is my first waffle. This is a waffle for our good brother Clint, the Mad Modeler. I just got to reviewing his video he posted on the Catalina. Actually I saw two of them. Upon opening the box he was pretty well discouraged with the warpage of the bottom wing center section of the PBY Catalina. A fix like that is a piece of cake fix. You did the right thing, Clint, what you did by removing those alignment pins. They usually are an obstacle sometimes, and sometimes they're mismolded on the molds and they don't line up correctly. But what you did was the right thing. By removing those alignment pins, you remove the obstruction, so that way you'll be able to fit the wings together. Made it right. You can also use this known as a learning curve to your experience. What you witnessed and what you went through, you corrected already. You can store in your mind. And later on in the future, God forbid if you run into a kit with the same problem, you dig it out of your brain, put it right back to it. So yeah, just like my Catalina. 9910s in general, with kits like that, especially flying boats, you got a center section that comes in two halves, top and bottom. If you either got one that's warped, there's either two solutions to the problem which you can do. It's using hot water almost to a boiling point. Not to a boiling point, hot water. Immerse the whole section of the wing in there and put it on a flat surface and use weight. Make sure the weight is flat. And that styrofoam will cool and it'll remain in a flat position. Unless it has memory to it, it will spring back to like the way it is. But there's other times that sometimes you have to worry about doing that because in general, when you're dealing with a center's wing section like that, you just go ahead and either the top section is warped or the bottom section is warped, vice versa. No matter how it is, usually the straight section will pull the warp out of the warp section of the wing. I had two of those Airfix kits one time, and on the second one I had was a 1980 reissue of a 1964 kit. Because they made so many of them. That kit actually first came out back in 1964. Summer of 1964. It cost $1.63. $1.63 back then. And it was 1/72 scale. And I had U.S. Navy markings on it. Didn't have the English Royal Air Force markings. And on the second one, it was like yours you're building right now. Just different box art. Same kit. It was Royal Air Force Catalina they used. And I had the same problem. I had the bottom wing was warped, and instead of using the water method, or you just go ahead and manually twist it into shape and adding the wing, the top section was straight, so it pulled the warp out of the bottom section out. So that's a godsend right there. But what you did was the right thing, because a lot of those sometimes when the models and at that age, getting old like that, those molds get old. And you don't know how many thousands upon thousands those kits have been produced in almost 50 years. And there's wear and tear in the molds like that, so it's going to influence problems with the tip issues of the kit. So anyway, you can store that, buddy, as a learning curve. Don't get discouraged, buddy. You know, I mean, you got a lot of great people on here, and I myself will bust a nut doing all I can to help you out. And you got a lot of great fellows on this YouTube. I never met some greatest fellows in my life as on this YouTube. We're all like a family here. It's a modeling community. We help each other. And that's how we learn. We learn off of each other. That's what makes model building so wonderful. Then if you get confused, you get stumped, you get stifled, you get steamed, you get teed off a little bit because of that wing like what it was. When you're in doubt, stay out. Put the kid to the side. Don't give up on it. Just get away from it for a while and work on something else you got to finish up on your plate. Then you get back to the building. Give time to think about what you need to do on to straighten it out, and what you did in your Catalina. You took it upon yourself. You got rid of the alignment pin. You straightened out the wing section. Beautiful. Where I can see that straight as a level. Now, it's heavy rivets. I remember that kid has got some heavy rivets. No recessed line. It's heavy rivets. So you take wet and dry sandpaper clamp. Use a lot of water. You'll march over to the kitchen sink. Turn on the water. And using 320 wet and dry sandpaper, make sure it's a black sandpaper, it's all wet. You got to use water only. That'll reduce sand residue inside your plastic. You don't have to worry about blowing it off or interfering with your paint job. Use plenty of water while you're sanding it down. You can feel the low relief of those rivets going away. Because Rosie Riveter was pretty heavy back in those days, and they did it as more or less as an effect to model builders of my generation. And since we got the better technology nowadays in modeling, and they don't do that no more. But we deal with old kit that nature. There's gonna be problems and fit issues. You just got to work around it. You just can't lose your cool and scuttle the kit, because you ain't gonna learn nothing by doing that. You just wasted your money. And did the right thing, Clint. I'm proud of you, buddy. And like I say, if you got problems like that, all of us here on YouTube are here to help you out, buddy, and get you out of all these messes. You know, I mean, we all get the same mess. I mean, believe you me. I mean, like that Glowmaster I had, I was really discouraged about that. That's a 2004 kit right there, and that kit's supposed to be the new millennium technology. That thing was it was a bear. There's been plenty of times I feel like chucking out the window right there, you know, but you didn't give up. So like I say, if you come into a situation like that again, just back off from the kit and think about it. Go to something else, because I'm quite sure 100% of every one of us that build models, we got about 4 or 5 going at once. So by the time you finish up on your plate and get started, you go right back to the build and correct the problem. You did the right thing. You used common sense. You went and got rid of the alignment pins on there, those ejector pins. That make they fit your top section of your wings and other parts. I mean, sometimes some things are obstacles. They'll throw off the fit of your kit. So in general, you know, when you like I said earlier in the video, when you're dealing with a center wing section, top and bottom halves, usually the straight section will pull out the warp section with no sweat. In other words, go ahead and use really hot water up almost to the boiling point. When you see those molecules in the bottom of your pan like that, that's time to kill the flame. Take your part, soak in that water, pick it up, lay it on a flat edge. Either use duct tape to duct it down on top of your board, or use a straight, heavy, level weight, lay it on top of the wing, and let it cool for about a good hour. Remove the weight, and that wing will be straight as level. It's just the way it's shipping in transit, because you got to realize those kits don't come out like that once they leave the factory, because you got a lot of inspectors out there to inspect the kits, make sure that everything's there. And if you got any warpage kits like that, the inspector goes, and the person running the molds right there is probably represented for it. So usually when that kit's probably been bounced around in the truck, bounced around in the factory. Also, another thing too, you got to consider also as temperature-wise. If it's in a hot warehouse somewhere, we all know what styrene does. You get out in the heat, it starts to warp. So very much you have a kit that was warped due to those conditions. But anyway, Clint, don't get discouraged, buddy. You know, I mean, modeling sometimes it's supposed to be. It's designed to get away from problems all from your surroundings, problems in the job, problems around the house, problems in general, which we all deal with day in and day out. And it's supposed to soothe the savage beast, and that's by calming us down, enjoying something that's very relaxing and rewarding when finished. You're doing a good job at Catalina. Just do a little bit at a time. If you get stuck, buddy, post a video, and we'll answer on the fly. And I'd like to thank everybody again for all your comments and everything, and your wonderful replies on my builds I've done. I'm going to start bringing out builds of the past, and do a few waffles here and there. This is my first waffle, fellas, and I'm doing this for our good brother Clint, and to help you out, buddy. That's what we're here for. Well, it's time to get off here, guys. I get the bolo going, get a video posted on that tonight, and I got a group of, one of my builds of the past I'll be showing out here very shortly, so stay tuned and stay focused, and I'll be back. And Clint, have patience, son. Have patience, buddy. I mean, you're doing the right thing. You did the right thing. You didn't do nothing bad. You did the right thing. When in your first video, by looking at your face, I can see that you're very discouraged and you're peed off. I don't blame you. I don't blame you a bit. And you put it aside, closed the lid of the box, you slept on it, you went back and attacked the problem next day. You got it done. Proud of you, but you did a good job. So we're all here to help you. Okay, folks, time for you to get out of here right now. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. This is a special waffle for our good buddy Clint. And I'll probably have some more waffles just to shoot the breeze a little bit coming up. And thank you, everybody, and all your group builds. Or you guys are doing an exceptional, superb job. And you got 2 thumbs up. It's all great and all good. And we'll catch you later, boys. Y'all take care. May God bless and happy modeling. We'll see you, Clint. Bye, boys.